Peneroka yang berani adalah individu hebat, walaupun yang diteroka itu cuma berskala kecil atau sederhana sahaja. Inilah yang kita perlukan. Negara sangat memerlukan orang-orang seperti ini. Manakala rakyat lebih berani menjadi peneroka, maka kesannya kepada kemajuan adalah positif dan hasil keluaran dalam negeri kasar juga boleh ditunggu untuk meningkat.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good evening. I'm Nurafida Fendi. Welcome to News at 10 and the top stories tonight. 126 civil officers and staff of the Ministry of Defence are conferred long service medals. A monthly wage cut of $2 from each civil servant for the Fund for Construction of Mosques is voluntary and not mandatory. A total of 126 civil officers and staff of the Ministry of Defence were awarded the Pengiat Kerja Lama or Long Service Medal. The conferment ceremony was held in conjunction with His Majesty Sultan Haji Hassanal Bolkiah Muizzuddin Wad Daulah Ibni Almarhum Sultan Haji Omar Ali Saifuddin Sabdul Hairiwaddin, Sultan and Yang di-Pertuan of Brunei Darussalam's 70th birthday celebration. The ceremony took place at the Wira Seni Concert Hall, Royal Brunei Armed Forces Band Building. The awards were presented by retired First Admiral Datuk Sri Pahlawan Abdul Aziz bin Haji Muhammad Tamid, Deputy Minister of Defence. The award is an honour and appreciation of His Majesty's government to the recipients for their services and contributions. Also present was Dang Dimuliakan Pehin Datuk Pekerma Jaya, Major General Datuk Petikan Sri Muhammad Tawih bin Abdullah, the Commander of Royal Brunei Armed Forces, and retired Captain Abdul Rahman bin Begawan Mudim, Datuk Paduka Haji Bakar, the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Defence. Serving with full dedication and having high discipline in carrying out their responsibilities and trust were among the qualities that the recipients adhere to.
Mestilah kita ini bekerja dengan tekun dan gigih dan membuat segala pekerjaan yang diberikan dan dilaksanakan dengan sebaik-baiknya.
Saya mengharapkan semua adalah dapat mempertingkatkan lagi prestasi masing-masing di dalam usaha tani untuk mencapai wawasan 2035 di mana semua kita ni semua peringkat pegawai dan kaki tangan kerajaan haruslah menyumbang dan memberikan.
To encourage and raise self-confidence in making a better change at work or entrepreneurship are among the objectives of the Tithe Recipient Capacity Building Program or PROPAS, organised by the Perbadanan Tabung Amanah Islam Brunei Taib in cooperation with Brunei Islamic Religious Council MUIB through the Secretariat of PROPAS. The program targeted 13 underprivileged youth registered under MUIB. The launching took place this afternoon at Airport Mall in Barakas. Present was Datuk Paduka Awang Haji Abdul Mokti bin Haji Muhammad Daud, Deputy Minister of Religious Affairs. Among the activities lined up are financial planning, entrepreneurship clinic, as well as Fardu Ain and Fardu Kifayah activities. The three-day program is in conjunction with TAIB's 25th anniversary celebration. Also present were Awang Haji Harun bin Haji Junid and Awang Roslan bin Haji Taja'ah, Deputy Permanent Secretaries at the Ministry of Religious Affairs, and Dayang Hajah Nur Rafida binti Sulaiman, Acting Managing Director of Perbadanan Taib. The fund for construction of mosque is an effort to help the government in building new mosque, repairing and making extensions to existing mosque buildings, as well as to assist in providing facilities needed at the mosques. Also coming up on News at 10, the Strata Land Law Act opens the opportunity for investment in the property market in Brunei Darussalam. Details next, but first this excerpt of His Majesty's Tita. The automatic salary deduction of $2 from every Muslim full-time civil servant as contribution to the charity fund for construction of the mosque in Brunei Darussalam is voluntary and not mandatory. In fact, every individual still has the option whether to participate or not. The Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Religious Affairs said that His Majesty the Sultan and Yang di-Pertuan of Brunei Darussalam has consented to the support for the Brunei Islamic Religious Council to fix the salary cuts, which will be implemented in June. Datuk Sri Setia Awang Haji Abdul Aziz bin Orang Kaya Maharaja Lela Haji Muhammad Yusof explained the matter this morning at a media conference on the contribution from automatic salary deduction for government officers and staff for the fund for the construction of the mosque in Brunei Darussalam.
Mana-mana penjawat awam yang berhasrat untuk tidak menyertai skim sumbangan ini ataupun ingin menambah jumlah sumbangan.
According to Datuk Sri Setia Awang Haji Abdul Aziz, civil servants who do not wish to take part in the contribution scheme or wish to increase the amount of the contribution can do so by making administrative arrangements through the finance section of the ministry or through their respective departments by filling in the forms provided. If the response from civil servants who do not wish to participate in the scheme are not received by the 31st of May 2017, then the wage cuts of $2 for each civil servant will be carried out automatically as of June 2017 onwards. Since its establishment in June 2015 until the 31st of March this year, the charity fund for the construction of mosque in Brunei Darussalam had collected nearly $5 million. Out of the total, over $780,000 were collected through salary cuts from more than 5,000 civil servants. The funds collected for the project thus far will be used to finance the construction of the Kampung Tanjung Bunut Mosque, costing $3.5 million. To disseminate more on the salary deduction, the Mosque Affairs Department, Ministry of Religious Affairs, is organizing a 6-day roadshow for civil servants at the Sultan Haji Hassan al-Bolkiah Tahfiz Al-Quran Institute. The roadshow held this morning involved officers and personnel from the Prime Minister's Office and Ministry of Finance. Awang Haji Rajid bin Haji Muhammad Saleh, Director of Mosque Affairs, who is also head of the Fund Secretariat, in a briefing explained that the fund's establishment is to help the government build new mosques, restore and extend mosque buildings, as well as to help provide the necessary facilities required by mosques.
Bahawa penubuhan tabung dana bagi pembinaan masjid negara Brunei Darussalam ini adalah suatu langkah yang positif.
The number of applications for division of buildings for issuance of strata ownership titles received and processed by the Land Office is not very encouraging. Based on the Land Department's record, only 42 strata ownership titles from 2 land lots have been issued to date. The statistics are among the matters shared during a briefing on strata ownership this morning. The briefing gave further explanation on Section 169 of the Strata Land Law Act, that is part of Section 40 of the Land Law, that enables the landowner to subdivide a building comprising more than 2 main units. The briefing session conducted by officers from the Land Department and the Survey Department was attended by landowners, developers, property agents, professional bodies, licensed land surveyors and solicitors from financial institutions. The Strata Land Act opens up opportunities for investment in the property market in the country, apart from securing private land ownership rights and strata ownership rights.
saya akan memberi penerangan mengenai dengan pendaftaran Pergerakan Hak Milik Startup.
I think this roadshow is a very good platform to educate the public, especially on the initiative by the government to have more strategized properties like apartments, even landed properties. I think this would open up more FDIs to come into the countries, but again we need more clarity on how individuals or corporations to own these strata properties.
This is a good roadshow to let the general public knows what is going on with this strata title. It has been out for many years, so I think with this seminar it will help people to understand better, and will help the general public to tap into this strata title also for the Brunei market. Hopefully with this strata title, everything will move.
Stay tuned for more news after these commercials.
Wow! 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 Welcome to Pizza Hut. Do your this, what? This, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Dapatkan wow deals dari Pizza Hut. Dapatkan pan pizza serendah RM5 hanya untuk bawa balik dan makan di restoran sahaja. Masa adalah terhad.
Seratus % dibuat dari daun teh asli. Bukan dari ekstrak seperti yang lain. Rasakan perbezaan teh hijau yang sebenar. Beralih ke Poka, jenama nombor 1 di Singapura.
Wow! 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 Welcome to Pizza Hut. Do your this, what? This, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Dapatkan wow deals dari Pizza Hut. Dapatkan pan pizza serendah RM5 hanya untuk bawa balik dan makan di restoran sahaja. Masa adalah terhad.
Students, including graduates in the country, are given the opportunity to further their studies in Japan under the Japanese government MEXT scholarship program for the year 2018. The scholarship, funded by the Embassy of Japan in Brunei Darussalam, is offering 4 types of programs, namely research students, undergraduate students, College of Technology students, and specialized training college students. In a media conference held this morning, Ri Arai Sakumoto, the embassy's first secretary, said through such a program, students will be exposed to the Japanese environment and culture, as well as to enhance their education quality.
I hope this scholarship gives opportunity for Brunei students to study in Japan, understand Japan, and work as a bridge that ties between Brunei and Japan, and the people who experienced Japan under this scholarship would contribute to the fostering of a friendship between Brunei and Japan.
Research students can submit their applications between the 1st and 30th of May 2017, while applications for other programs are open from the 1st to the 30th of June 2017. Further information can be obtained at the Embassy of Japan website at www.bn.m.japan.go.jp/education/mext2017.html or contact 222-9265. 6 Bruneian students are currently undergoing studies in Japan. Brunei Shell Petroleum Company Sdn Bhd BSP is on an exciting journey of increasing efficiency, eliminating waste, and being more productive in a safe manner. The current low oil price environment is challenging for the industry on a global scale. However, BSP has determined that the low oil price environment also represents an opportunity to improve and become a more competitive company. In support of the company's strategy line in the sand, fit for the future, across the organization, interdiscipline and interdepartment teams have been formed and in close collaboration with its business partners. These integrated improvement efforts and creative thinking have led to efficiency gains, which are one route of many to ensure BSP will be fit for the future. These cost savings were achieved through improved productivity, which means achieving more with the same resources with no impact on employment and contracts. Dr. Cherry M. Powell, Managing Director of BSP, said that Fit for the Future is all about what BSP needs to do now to make sure it is here for generations to come, which is fueling Brunei's future. Much can be done when there is innovative thinking, focus, close collaboration and motivated as well as determined people. A recent example of this is in a wireline operations where BSP has successfully converted one wireline unit onshore and one wireline unit offshore into 24-hour operations. Initial results show productivity of wireline crews increased more than 300% with a reduction in cost by more than 50% and delivering more barrels of oil than planned if the team had continued with a 12-hour operation. The contractor involved is SC Oilfields and Logistics Sdn Bhd, which is a local Bruneian company with a workforce of 90% Bruneian, meaning that this achievement was delivered mostly by local Bruneians. The team is now closely monitoring the 24-hour operations for sustainability and to understand how to further replicate this. According to Dr. Carrie Powell, these are exciting times, and with teams across BSP proactively looking to improve how they do things, they expect more success of this nature in the near future. Wireline is using a reel of wire to gain access deep inside a well. This technique is used to take measurements in a well to open or close different producing zones, as well as to add or remove equipment in the well to enhance production. The two-day cross-border e-commerce training CBAT organized by Darussalam Enterprise DARE in collaboration with dhgate.com and University Brunei Darussalam UBD ended today. The boot camp was conducted by dhgate.com. The first company to organize the e-commerce included shifting the mindset of business owners from traditional to digital business before involving decision makers and employees to acquire the skills and knowledge on how to run a business based on a digital model, and finally integrating and transforming a company business model through a combination of online and offline trade using digital platforms. The third phase of the Foreign Workers License LPA process, which is applications to renew licenses and transfer contracts, have begun as of 1st of April. With the start of the third phase process, work permit recommendation applications, BUR 500 and also BUR 555 are discontinued and will no longer be accepted as of 1st of July 2017. Here are the new conditions for the applications for foreign workers licenses process as provided by the Labour Department. The Management Services Department, or MSD, is currently conducting the Customer Focus Survey until the 31st of March 2018. Among the objectives of the survey are to identify the customer satisfaction level, learn the customer's perception on the quality of services provided, as well as obtaining their feedback or suggestions on how to improve productivity and quality of services provided. The MSD welcomes the public as customers of government services to fill in the survey form available at government premises. For more information, including the participating agencies, visit the MSD's website at www.jpp.gov.bn. The customer's feedback through the survey is important for MSD to set up strategies in managing problems faced by the public and upgrade the government services in line with the public's demand. The Safety in Construction Forum and Workshop is among the efforts of Public Works Department through the Health, Safety and Environment HAC, Administration and Finance Department to inculcate, raise awareness and implement health as well as safety aspects, especially in the construction sector. The workshop, which will be held on the 29th of April at the Public Works Department's headquarters, is in conjunction with the Safety Day 2017. According to the statement from the Public Works Department, the forum will emphasize on the importance of the HAC project plan, which should be prepared by every contractor for each project implemented. Apart from that, safety experts will also provide explanations on the guidelines as well as the need to prepare HSC project plans. For those who are interested to take part in the one-day forum and workshop, contact the Public Works Department or Khathi's Management Services at 839-7929. Early prevention against tooth decay and gum disease must be practiced in order to control the risk factors besides observing proper dental health care. The practice of tooth brushing twice daily for 2 minutes using toothpaste containing fluoride is important, apart from observing a sugar-free or low-sugar diet with a limited intake of sweetened food and drinks. This was among the advice shared during a briefing on prevention against tooth decay held this morning for the pupils of Sultan Hashim Primary School, Batu Apoy. The briefing was delivered by a dental nurse from the Pengiran Isteri Hajah Mariam Hospital, Temburong. The pupils were exposed to the method of tooth brushing, dental care and in identifying tooth decay. There was also a question and answer session as well as a toothbrushing practical conducted by dental health promotion trainees and the Pengiran Isteri Hajah Mariam Hospital Dental Service. This annual project provides the pupils with understanding on the importance of dental health care that they must practice from a very young age to avoid complications as they grow up. That is why the briefing is targeting kindergarten pupils or preschoolers.
Urusan gigi, kami juga menyediakan beberapa game. Ikut kajian yang kami buat, kami ke sekolah-sekolah, masih perlu banyak yang akan dibuat lah. Terutama sekali pembernisan fluorida, ianya sangat penting dan boleh menolong mencegah kerusakan gigi. Sekurang-kurangnya 2 kali sehari. Yang paling penting pagi selepas sarapan pagi dan malam sebelum mereka tidur.
Kampung Kurang, Tutong and its surrounding areas will experience electrical supply disruption tomorrow. A look at the Nisab Zakat or tithe rates for cash and property. Moving on to the foreign exchange rates between the Brunei dollar and some international and regional currencies. Moving on to international news and the top stories tonight. Britain to hold election on June 8th and Turkey's Prime Minister calls for the opposition to respect the referendum's result. Britain's parliament votes today on holding a snap election in June as Prime Minister Theresa May seeks to make strong gains against the opposition before grueling Brexit negotiations. May is apparently aiming to cash in on her 20-point lead over the main opposition Labour Party to increase her majority and give her a stronger hand in the Brexit battles with Brussels ahead. Britain started the formal process of leaving the EU last month, but negotiations are not due to begin for weeks, giving the Prime Minister a narrow window for a lightning election campaign.
I want to explain the reasons for that decision, what will happen next, and the choice facing the British people when you come to vote in this election. Last summer,
a former Indonesian education minister won the race for Jakarta governor. Anies Baswedan won with 58% of the votes versus 42% for Basuki Cahayapurnama, known by his Chinese nickname as Ahok, based on 100% of the votes in an official quick count by Indicator Politik. Other pollsters showed similar results with 99% counted. The National Elections Commission will announce official results in early May, and Baswedan will officially take over as governor in October.
Jakarta bersatu, mari kita rajut kembali kebersamaan kita. Kita lupakan bulan-bulan yang lalu kita.
Turkish voters responded with mixed views on result of a referendum that will give sweeping new powers to the office of the president. It followed a call by the country's prime minister for the opposition to respect the result. Voters spoke as the main opposition party formally requested to have Sunday's vote voided. Some voters urged Turks to accept the result and focus on the country's economic growth, while others expressed regret about the referendum campaign. Sunday's referendum vote gave President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's yes camp a narrow win for constitutional changes that will abolish the office of the Prime Minister and convert Turkey's system of government from a parliamentary to a presidential one. The referendum took place under a state of emergency that was declared following a failed military coup last summer. Turkey's parliament agreed Tuesday to extend for another 3 months the emergency powers, allowing the government to rule by decree. China's foreign ministry said that it was seriously concerned by recent comments made by North Korean officials warning of further missile tests and the possibility of nuclear war. Addressing a regular press briefing in Beijing, ministry spokesman Lu Kang added that China was resolutely opposed to any words of actions that could further raise tensions. North Korea regularly threatens to destroy the United States, and amid heightened tension on the Korean peninsula, it has escalated a war of words, warning of full-out nuclear war if Washington takes military action against it. U.S. Vice President Mike Pence, on a trip to Asia, has repeatedly warned that the era of strategic patience with North Korea is over, and said earlier on Wednesday it would meet any attack with an overwhelming response. Fighting continued between Iraqi forces and IS group in western Mosul. Soldiers of the Iraqi counter-terrorism service battled militants in the Tanan neighborhood in the far west of the city. At least one IS group suicide car bomb was destroyed by coalition airstrike as troops fought to clear the area of militants. Dozens of civilians were seen walking out of the district even as the battle continued around them. The UN estimates that as many as 500,000 people may still be in the IS-controlled areas of Mosul, making the fight especially difficult. Swiss President Doris Leuthard met her Argentinian counterpart Mauricio Macri in Buenos Aires. During a joint conference, Doris Leuthard said a number of representatives from major Swiss companies were traveling alongside her with the intention of raising their investments in Argentina. Mauricio Macri thanked Switzerland for their cooperation with the Program for Fiscal Sincerity launched by his government. Switzerland is the 6th largest foreign investor in Argentina.
Weil wir überzeugt sind, das ist die richtige Richtung für Argentinien. Und ich bin begleitet von einer großen Wirtschaftsdelegation.
Sweden's Crown Princess Victoria called for action against climate change at a United Nations university event in Tokyo. In her speech, the Crown Princess said people have the power as consumers to influence the environment through the choices they make every day. The event, called the Public Engagement for the Global Goals with a special focus on sustainable oceans, was hosted by the United Nations University Institute for the Advanced Study of Sustainability Global Environment Outreach Center and the Embassy of Sweden. The Princess Victoria was appointed by the UN as one of its 16 advocates to promote the organization's sustainable development goals.
It was an obvious choice for me to focus on issues related.
Stay with us for more international news after this short break. The Norwegian ship, the CM Pilot, docked at the port of Kagilari with 816 migrants, rescued migrants on board. The group of migrants included 130 women and 190 minors from 25 different countries, including Syria, Sudan, Egypt, and Mali. Most of the migrants were rescued by NGO ships run by groups like Medicine Sans Frontiers, which operate closer to the Libyan shore. According to the UN High Commission for Refugees, as of 18 April, 41,713 migrants have arrived in Europe by sea, with 826 dying in the attempt. Meanwhile, at least 170 illegal migrants from Mali were deported from Libya as the country struggles to deal with the influx of migrants attempting to reach Europe from its shores. The International Organization for Migration assisted the illegal migrants from Mali onto planes at Tripoli Mitiga Airport en route to the Malian capital, Bamako. The majority of the illegal migrants held in Libyan detention centers come from Nigeria, Niger, Gambia, Somalia, and Mali. The migrant crises began to escalate dangerously in 2015 when high numbers of unauthorized foreign nationals attempted to travel to the European Union. In related developments, Libyan fishermen found the bodies of 28 migrants who appeared to have died of thirst and hunger after their boat broke down off the coast of Sabratha city. The 28 migrants, including 4 women, were found after sunset by the fishermen who towed the vessel to shore. The victims were buried together in a cemetery for illegal migrants. Smugglers often pack migrants in flimsy inflatable dinghies, dispatching them to sea to get picked up by rescue ships and other vessels once they reach international waters. Some are intercepted and turned back by the Libyan Coast Guard. A bus has swerved off a mountain road and plunged into a deep ravine in Himalayan region of northern India, killing at least 44 people. The bus with 56 passengers on board plunged into a river in northern Himachal Pradesh state, around 115 kilometers from the capital Shimla. Police rushed to the scene where rescue efforts were underway. It was not immediately clear what caused the accident or whether any of the survivors were injured. India has some of the world's deadliest roads, with more than 150,000 fatalities annually due to poor roads, badly maintained vehicles, and reckless driving. Turkey's interior minister says all 12 people on board a police helicopter that crashed in southeastern Turkey are dead. Sulaiman Soylu said that search and rescue teams were sent to the area after the helicopter signal was lost. He said the accident was caused by bad weather conditions. The helicopter disappeared 10 minutes after taking off from the town of Pulumur in Tunceli province. It had been carrying 7 police officers, a judge, a soldier, and 3 crew members.
Hava şartlarından dolayı bir kazanın olduğu görülüyor.
The Shanghai Auto Show opened today with global automakers rolling out their designs to compete for a share in a huge but crowded market. Major auto giants like Ford, Volkswagen, Toyota and Chinese homegrown SUV maker Haval were attracting huge attention at this year's show. China is the world's largest auto market and more than 24 million cars were sold there in 2016. The biennial Shanghai Auto Show runs until 28 April and about 1 million visitors are expected. As floodwaters begin to subside in areas of Peru, authorities in the Andean nation are grappling with the threat of a dengue outbreak that has already claimed 7 lives and seen hundreds of possible new cases reported daily. Regions such as Piura and Canete are amongst those worst hit by floods and are on alert for dengue, a viral infection spread through the bite of the female mosquito. Soldiers have been mobilized to distribute aid and health supplies, and the government has set up mobile clinics to treat people with suspected cases of dengue. Fears of a dengue outbreak come as Peru prepares for a massive reconstruction effort following the aftermath of deadly floods. The cost of reconstruction is expected to cost the country $3 billion in the short term and up to $9 billion over the 5 years. Sports news coming up next. The martial arts movement in Brunei traditional Silat will be highlighted by a team of local Silat athletes during the World Martial Arts Festival. The 6-day festival will be held at Purwakarta, West Java, Republic of Indonesia. Brunei Darussalam is represented by 12 Silat practitioners from the Perguruan Seni Pencak Silat Gerak 41. They departed the country this morning. Present at Brunei International Airport to bid farewell was Awang Haji Ibrahim bin Haji Muhammad Yusof, the main instructor of Perguruan Seni Pencak Silat Gerak 41. According to retired Major Awang Rusli bin Bujang, president of the Perguruan Seni Pencak Silat Gerak 41, Silat is becoming well known worldwide as it covers various forms of attack.
Sama berusaha juga seberapa daya untuk menampilkan aspek technicality, kekayaan dan kekemasan teknik yang terdapat dalam silat Brunei itu sendiri. Jadi di sana nanti insyaAllah kita akan dapat menampilkan walaupun sama-sama aliran pencak silat, tapi Brunei Darussalam mempunyai teknik, taktik dan strategi.
Real Madrid has advanced into the Champions League semi-finals after a 4-2 win against Bayern Munich. Cristiano Ronaldo scored a hat-trick to become the first man to reach 100 Champions League goals as Real Madrid overcame 10-man Bayern Munich after extra time in the second leg of the quarter-finals to advance 6-3 on aggregate. Real Madrid will be on Friday's semi-final draw for a record 7th consecutive year, but they were pushed all the way by Bayern, who overcame a 2-1 first-leg deficit to send the tie into extra time thanks to Robert Lewandowski's penalty and an own goal from Real Madrid's Sergio Ramos. Up next, the weather forecast. Showers or thunder showers are expected for the next 24 hours in Brunei Darussalam. Tonight, the weather is expected to be occasional showers or thunder showers in between cloudy night. An advisory has been issued where risk of flash floods in heavy downpour, especially at low-lying and flood-prone areas. Sea is slight at 0.5 to 1 meter and wind is from southwest at 5 to 10 kilometers per hour. Wind speed of up to 40 kilometers per hour is expected in heavy or thunder showers. Tomorrow morning, the weather will be partly cloudy. Sea state and wind will be similar as tonight's. Showers or thunder showers mainly over the inland area are expected in the afternoon. Sea will remain slight at 0.5 to 1 meter, while wind is northwest at 10 to 25 kilometers per hour. Allahu A'lam bisawab. A look at the forecast for Brunei Darussalam for the next 3 days and the weather for some of the main cities around the world. Finally, a reflection on an advice based on the tradition of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as narrated by Ibn Majah. Ask from Allah for health and well-being, for verily there is nothing better than health after confidence, meaning faith. And to end the bulletin, let's view the International Istanbul Tulip Festival, organized by the Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality, being held in Istanbul. Symbolizing the coming of spring, tulips have been planted in all parks, gardens and many open places in the city by the municipality. And that concludes News at 10 for this evening. I'm Nurafid Effendi. Have a good night. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.